we had in the house Jay Ward.
Yeah.
Jay Ward.
Turn your phone sideways, guys. We got a lot of man meat.
Oh, for God's sake.
It can't fit on too much man. We can't fit it in portrait mode. That was one thing. Like, we've been doing it in portrait mode, you know, but me and Andrew just barely having to squeeze together.
Yeah, we're always doing the podcast like right next to each other.
But I didn't know
to change it to panoramic just for me.
Well, we were trying panoramic for a little while, but then somebody.
All right, you got to get your foot out of the shot, Bert Kreischer.
Is that what he does?
Yes.
I was just thinking about how like they can totally like see my like bright white thighs.
Yeah, you look like you're wearing boxer shorts. Those are legitimate shorts.
There you go. These are real shorts. I've got underwear on under these.
I like this. This is a very sexy podcast so far.
You think so? Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of skin.
Feet and thighs.
The feet.
And we're in a isolated basement that anything can happen in, guys.
Yeah.
And probably has with you two.
We got a sauna right there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you want to get
We
the
should have
song?
done it from the sauna. Yeah.
From inside the sauna.
We're going to have to do a sauna cast one day.
Yeah.
I did comedy at a nudist colony.
Really?
Were you naked?
I thought I wasn't going to get naked, you know, and I didn't get naked to do comedy. I
Yeah.
shouldn't be naked, like
Yeah.
in front of people, you know, more than one person at a time, you know, whatever. But then after we got done, like 3 girls were like, "We're going to go get in the hot tub. Are you coming?" And I was like, "Yep." So I got naked in the hot tub at the, and there's also a couple dudes in there. The reason I thought about it because the guys were trying to get us to go into the sauna, but I don't know what happened in there, but I think it was gay stuff. I don't know what it was.
I wouldn't want to have sex in a sauna. It's so hot. You know?
Yeah.
That sounds tempting.
Well, at this point, I'll take whatever, man.
You heard it here on television for the Smartarded.
Sexually speaking, I'll take whatever.
Send us your DMs.
Yes.
We'll pass them on to Jay Ward.
Thank you.
Or you can just send them directly to Jay Ward. What's your IG handle?
Oh, at J Ward, y'all, JWRD, y'all.
All right. We don't have anybody watching yet.
It's okay. I didn't expect people to. Well, I mean, of course, there's 0 people. They'll watch it later once we're famous, and they'll go back and find all the times we you know, said the, you know,
committed atrocities against.
Yeah, racist statements.
Let's go ahead and say all the words right now.
Yeah. That is kind of a way to like.
What racist terms are you guys comfortable with? You know, I'll tell you a story. Well, it's Khaled El Chufi. I'll say it because I don't think he minds because we'll shout him out. Good dude, very funny comedian. But I was having a conversation with some comedians and a couple of black comedians, something about the N-word or something. I don't remember because that's how my conversations go. And he goes like, and I've said this on stage before, but he's like, yeah, sometimes I get called a sand N-word. But then that's how he said it. I was like, you can't even say your own racial slur, dude. That is rough. That is rough stuff, dude. You know, so
Who is he?
Khaled El Chufi. He's very funny.
Khaled.
Yeah, people call him Khalid, but it's Khaled.
I think I may have seen it before. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's actually, it's very interesting too. I'll say this too, I guess it's okay, but it's fun to watch people get better because when he started out, he was so not funny, like at all. Like, God bless you. He's not watching. But he wasn't. I mean, he was like, and it's amazing to watch people that are just not funny keep doing it. And he's like, well, he came back and he's not funny again, sir. And then all of a sudden he got to be hilarious, and he's actually one of the funniest comics in Atlanta. He's one of my favorites to watch. So check out Kyle. He is now hysterical.
What do you think it is that gets people to be funny?
Well, you already have to be funny. I think you just got to figure out how to, you know, you try to figure out how to be funny as you are around your friends on stage or whatever.
The reason you're not funny to start with isn't because you don't have it in you, right? It's because you're just messing up and you don't like, you're just nervous and you don't know exactly how to like put that joke together.
Well, it's like you try to get back to, who was it said that, this Seinfeld or somebody, like you try to get to the point on stage right before you went out for the first time. Right before you went out for the first time, you're perfectly funny. Your friends thought you're hilarious. And you get on stage and like, now I don't know what I'm doing. So a lot of people try too hard, you know. I'll say this. I want to say this is a public service announcement that maybe somebody will listen. I need to tell people this. When you yell on the mic, pull the mic away from your face. This is whisper. This is talk regular. This is yell. Sometimes this is yell. Stop. But for some reason, humans want to bring it closer. Like, why? Like Jesus.
I don't know if I yell that much. I think
don't.
I need to speak up for the most part.
Well, you have your, you're quiet, and I mean, you have a calm tone.
Oh, really?
I like it.
I don't know what I come across as.
Well, think about Stephen Wright never yelled ever once.
Okay, he was like real absurdist type stuff, wasn't he? Like real goofy one-liner type stuff.
It was one-liners, but they weren't all. I mean, there were some pretty brilliant. There was some great stuff, but yeah, I don't.
But his type of stuff is like, it would almost be funny just reading it, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't as much of a performance.
That was common back then too, and it's like Emo Phillips and
yeah.
Well,
Emo Phillips definitely had a character though, right?
Yeah, he still does. He still sticks with it.
Yeah.
Whereas some have kind of gotten away from it, like Bobcat Goldthwait got away from his character.
Yeah, I saw him before I started doing comedy.
I think Tom Green's probably gotten away from his character some too.
Okay, yeah. No, Tom Green was he didn't even do stand up until after he didn't have his character anymore, right? Because
I think so.
We saw him when he first started doing stand up. I don't know how long.
From what I heard him on Rogan. He said that he went back to stand up. I think around the time we saw him.
Yeah, well, I think he did stand up for a little bit before, but it was like he never made anything of himself. And then he did the Tom Green show, and it was more like absurdist type stuff.
Were you there after hanging out with Tom Green?
I didn't go.
How old are you guys? How old are you?
30.
I'm 32.
You're 30. Also,
32.
Yeah.
I just heard 45, which is really fucked up. But, I know, dude.
Why is it fucked up?
Because that's old.
I thought 30 is a bigger, weirder thing.
No, it's really weird to turn 45.
What's up? Who's this? Mrs. Laney.
What's weird about it? Why is
up?
it so old?
Miss Lane, is that my old neighbor? I should cuss now, I guess. We used to have a neighbor. I don't know if that's who that is, but Slang. She's awesome because she's a couponer and she used to give me free soap and stuff.
Nice.
I get free.
You think that's worth it? Like saving up all those coupons and stuff? Like, is it worth the time commitment to get free stuff?
Well, I know that she got a bunch of stuff and so she had
Yep, that's her.
So I will talk about you that. So it's funny because she'd get a bunch of stuff so she'd have lots of stuff. I think her husband would be like, oh, we have too much stuff, but I bet he was happy during the quarantine.
Oh, yeah.
He had lots of toilet paper.
I always wanted to.
I bet he shut up and enjoyed his toilet paper.
Yeah. So
supply. My mom's the same way. She's like, you need toilet paper?
Yeah.
She has
stocked up,
Yeah.
My grandma was like that.
So I see hearts. I can see hearts.
there you go.
And I'm still using the last of that soap, by the way. I still have a little bit of the soft soap left, so drop some off if you're.
I bought a gallon of soap in college, and I just finished it this year.
What?
Yeah, I don't use soap.
Yeah, we can tell. Yeah.
So Arlena's the opposite of that kind of. I was like, hey, why don't you get some more toilet paper? But she was like, no, we're not out of toilet paper, so I'm not going to buy any more. And this was before the coronavirus thing.
Ooh.
And then we had a hard time finding toilet paper.
Yeah.
I just got 2 packages at the beginning of Corona, and we're still using them.
Well,
I found Charmin the other day. I got the good stuff.
I know. I usually buy Costco brand.
Toilet paper?
Yeah. But
I try to treat my ass nicely.
Yeah, you have.
I've had some hemorrhoid problems, so.
Yeah, I do Charmin all the way.
Well, Costco's not bad.
I love that we've got to talk. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Yeah, I'm very picky.
Costco's not bad.
Costco's not bad. Oh, okay.
No, but
I'm just making assumptions here.
I used. Costco's got good shit, man. You have that pizza,
Is
right?
it Kirkland? Is that the brand?
Yeah, Kirkland.
So that's the brand that there's a podcast called Your Mom's House, that Tom Segura and Christine, which is
I've heard
fantastic.
about that.
Well, Nevada on there, he talks about Kirkland's the best toilet paper. That's because he talks about how it's better than Charmin. So maybe
I don't think it's better than Charmin.
Well, he's got a whole case for like he has a whole.
I've got both here if you want to like test.
Yeah, I like cotton.
I did have 3 pieces of pizza and some kimchi. Thank you guys, by the way.
Just
That's really
prime
cool.
fresh shit.
Some fresh made kimchi.
But my parents had Sam's Club brand toilet paper that they gave to me because of the quarantine purposes, and I think that's better than Kirkland.
Well, I know Walmart brand what's the Walmart brand?
Great value.
Yes, I love their paper towels.
How do you know what levels it's picking up?
I don't know. I mean,
Do.
you're probably really annoying people right now.
That's only the YouTube viewers.
Mhm.
That's
What are you doing?
huh?
That's why no one's watching because they're just muted the whole time.
I don't think anybody's ever watched us on YouTube. Have they?
We've had a couple of people
Oh, really?
view us on YouTube. We used to get a lot of views on our YouTube videos, like thousands, tens of thousands.
Yeah, I'm just not a draw. Like I got one person though, my old neighbor. So, dude, she's awesome. So we got the one. You know,
Willing to turn your phone sideways and
I
everything.
thought my roommate might tune in, but
You know what? We used to have people watching us. Do you think they bailed on us?
Watch this.
We used to have like regulars that would tune in every week.
Maybe because we
Like your friends.
started a little bit late. Maybe they didn't know, or maybe they were checked in. They're like, "I guess we're not doing it." I don't know. But I mean, fuck it. They're probably still sitting on their phones. They just like,
dude, I had to like I looked at screens and stuff way too much yesterday. I had to like take a break from all that today. Like my eyes hurt. You ever had that? Just from like looking at stuff.
well, my eyes aren't getting any better, man. I have to like take my glasses off sometimes to see stuff. Like I got to don't want me to get progressive lenses, but I'm just hard headed because I don't like getting old. I don't like it. I don't want to die. I mean, that's the alternative, but it's just weird, man. I just like, I have to like date women that want to date 45-year-olds now. It's just,
like girls who have like a daddy complex and stuff.
Oh, I hope so. That would be awesome.
Yeah, find that.
I am definitely down for that. So
go to the high school.
Not high school. No, I'm not.
Nobody's there right now.
It's weird. Here's what's weird. So I'll tell you. So I do birthday parties. I do magic shows and balloon animals for kids' birthdays. And like an old friend I haven't talked to in a long time, I got in touch with him, and I did his daughter's birthday when she was 10, which is kind of old. I do 4 to 11-year-old birthdays, but anyway, she's 28 now, and I'm like, God, I can't even date anybody. I've done birthday parties for like 30-year-olds.
Wow.
And so like instead of saying like, hey baby, I'm old enough to be your daddy, I can be like, hey baby, I'm old enough to be your birthday party magician. I don't know why I said that. I just said that like Ron White. Hey baby, call me Tater birthday party magician. But yeah.
It's a little bit creepier than daddy for some reason.
That is creepier. It is totally creepier.
Your birthday party magician.
So it just made me go, God, I have to date people that are old now. I can't be even 28's out.
There's definitely something in there about balloon animals and condoms. I feel like.
Yeah, I think I've made balloon animals out of gloves, latex gloves before. I've never used condoms, but I would.
Use condoms.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I mean, yeah.
So, like, I feel like at my age, I'm definitely like. Do you feel like? I feel like when I was a little kid, I was attracted to like little kids, but then I was also attracted to. I was also attracted to like full-grown women.
Yeah.
Has that changed?
Yeah, he's not attracted to full-grown women anymore.
So now that I'm older, I'm attracted to only the full-grown woman.
Yeah.
Right?
Do I find that I'm attracted to older women as I age?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny how they look younger.
Yeah, it's interesting, but like yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I'm yeah, I'm totally down to date women in their 50s or women in their 30s or women in their 40s or 20s is it. I mean, like I like the idea of it, but
I used to think 20s was like you're like an adult.
Like it was like, do I have to, like listen to Ariana Grande? You know what I mean? Like I'm just not down for that.
And nowadays, I think like 20s is like advanced teenager.
Well, I tell you, see, like that's the thing. I tell you, it's weird to get old because in my heart, like I feel very young, and like I feel like it's like I'm in college. But then when I go, 'cause I do balloons at a college at UGA, like and see actual college kids, I'm like, oh, they're children. They're still kids. They're so young. What was that? What happened?
Somebody joined and said, "What's
Oh.
up?" They might have just left, but you know what? That's okay. If you want to just pop in for a second and then bail, that's totally okay with us. Totally okay.
Just know I drove a long way to be here, risking my life in rain. Wasn't that bad?
You gotta drive around a lot to do comedy, right?
Yeah, and balloons and magic.
Yeah.
Everything I do, I drive more than I mean, you drive. It's like I drove an hour to go to Jimmy Mac's on Monday, right? And then I did 7 minutes, and then I drove an hour back. So
Yeah.
I'm driving more than I'm performing.
Yeah, that's
You
the
know?
way it is for I think
Yeah.
most everybody.
That's most of my life. So my car has over 308,000 miles on it right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I had it, but I bought it when I was 30.
Huh.
I'm 45. That's a long time to have a car.
That is a long time.
Honda, get a Honda.
You got a
I
Honda.
got a
right?
Honda. I bought it last year.
Buy a Honda.
Well, how many miles did it have on it when you bought it?
163.
So,
Thousand?
so you should be able to get at least that much more out of it.
Yeah.
I'm over 300, so it's, yeah.
I was thinking about I was listening to Joe Rogan earlier today, and I was thinking about this.
Which one?
What?
Which
Joe
which
Rogan?
interview?
Oh, Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, I was watching
Oh,
that.
oh, yeah. Oh, we were all watching the same shit. And when they got to talking about Bigfoot, that made me
I didn't
realize.
get to that part yet.
I mean,
Is that late in the
it's
podcast?
coming. I don't know. Not really. It's in the middle, I guess. When they got to talking about Bigfoot, it made me realize. I wonder if that's.
This is the most bro podcast that we're talking about. Joe. We all happen to have watched Joe Rogan, and now we're going to talk about it.
Well, I'm talking about like just podcasting in general. So, like, it made me realize, like, I wonder if that's why Joe Rogan's podcast is so successful, because he always has that thing to escape to, like talking about chimps and Bigfoot and stuff, where it doesn't run the risk of being too divisive politically. You know what I mean?
Well, I think Joe's just honest. He tells his truth, and despite, he's got what he calls that "fuck you" money, despite the status quo, and that's a tough thing to do as a comic, especially around here, to not agree with everybody.
Yeah.
That
That's getting real hard, especially lately, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't it seem like the antithesis in a way of comedy? Because why would you want to see a bunch of people saying the same thing?
Well,
That's not
it's because of the women in comedy.
You really think it's the women?
Yeah, and not just the women, but just the men's behavior when the women are around. Really, it's more that.
So you think it was
To be like, oh, that's offensive. Like, you are not. Shut the. You're not. You're just doing that because you're trying to, maybe get laid or something. I don't know. Or just trying to be, a lot of times.
So do you think if there was no women around, then there wouldn't be social justice warriors?
If there were no women in comedy, it would be the most savage, amazing. Just everybody would be like, there would be no words off limits. There would be nothing off limits. We would be savage beasts. Just be like, you ate shit. We would roast each other so hard. It would be so beautiful. It would be just savage animal.
I think it would be it'd be like a locker room. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Where it's
Because I don't know about you
obnoxious.
guys, but I like some of the humor I like is really not appropriate to say. Like, I love, you're going toward the pedophile thing. It's like hilarious to me, but people don't like that shit. Like I'm all for talking about murder and like, for example, like somebody has been in my area. I live in a bunch of townhouses, and there's like 3 dirty diapers been thrown off in my yard area. And I'm like, I don't know who's doing this, but I want to murder your baby. And murdering babies is not
the baby's
appropriate for
fault.
most people, but it makes me
Yeah, but that
feel
will solve
good
the
as
problem.
thinking.
It would
That's
solve
gonna murder your baby. That's so the thoughts I have are, I love the idea because but no, I love. First of all, I'm just you say you just said this. Look, I love a lot of the women in comedy. I think there's some really funny women that are a lot funnier than some of the men in comedy. I think Alex Lippy's doing a great job, and I like Catherine Blanford a lot. And in the Atlanta scene, so I think there's a lot of funny women. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. Like, if you're a funny woman and I say women aren't funny, you're not going to give a shit because you're funny.
Yeah.
But if you're not so sure, what do you mean women? And I do think women are funny, by the way. And I think like Ellen DeGeneres and Paula Poundstone, and there's lots of funny women. But it's like that's what if somebody tells me I'm not funny, I'm like, well, okay, well maybe I'm maybe not funny to you, and that's okay because I know I don't think Dave Chappelle's funny. I don't think Chris Rock's funny. It's like so even Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle has people that don't think they're funny.
Yeah.
It's like I have been in front of audiences, in front of a full house of people that did not know me, and I've made them laugh their asses off. So if you tell me I'm not funny, it doesn't affect me because I know that's not true.
It's
not true.
Yeah, that's one good thing about stand-up comedy. It's like you have that. Like there's in other art forms you don't really have that. Like what if you if you're a painter, you can't be like, I know my painting's good because people could be lying to you. Nobody's gonna. You can go to strangers, and if they all laugh at you, it's undeniable, right?
Yeah. Now, if you're famous already, you might get extra love. But if nobody knows you and they have no reason to laugh at you, and they're laughing, it feels very good. It feels very good. Yeah, and that has to because we don't really get anything else out of it. So, not much money to be made, and
yeah.
I mean, how long have you been doing stand-up comedy now? 2 years? 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, 2 years. A little over 2 years.
Made about $65 so far.
I've made $300.
That's pretty good. Don't be bragging.
How long have you been at it?
God, it's so sad. 8 years, man. I mean, like, I guess December is 9, and I should be better at it by now, probably. Have more material. The longer you do it, the less material you realize you have. You think you have more than you do.
Down. Well, I don't think I have any material. I've got like 6 jokes.
No, you do have material though, and you have jokes that work. I mean, like, and it's good that you say you don't think you have material because a lot of people that don't have material think they do. They're talking about they have a tight 5, and I'm like, where do you have a tight 5? Because a tight 5 is 4 to 6 laughs a minute minimum. Like I do have a tight 5. I've got a tight 10.
Mm-hmm.
I can get on stage for 10 minutes and murder.
Yeah,
that's what 9 years will get you, 10 minutes. Now, I can get on stage a lot longer than 10 minutes, but I can murder for 10. And but if you put me up for 30, I might piss somebody off. 18.
What do you think about like Andrew Schultz, like being able to just like do crowd work for a whole special? Have you seen that, the crowd work special?
No, I didn't, but I haven't seen his stand-up. I tell you who I love right now that I'm getting to be a huge fan of is Tim Dillon.
I haven't seen
Tim Dillon is so funny, man.
I've seen him on podcasts and stuff.
Well, he's a gay guy, and so that kind of gives him an extra pass to be able to. I feel like gay guys can get away with a lot more stuff, even though he doesn't. You would never know he's gay until he tells you.
And then once he tells you, it does kind of is apparent, right?
Not really, man.
In some way,
because it is to like who's the other guy that came out of the closet? That comedian that came out of the closet that was in the closet for a long time, and then he came out, and he seems more gay now. But not Tim Dillon to me. But I love Tim Dillon. He is funny. He's the one that does the Meghan McCain and talks about he wants to. She's having her father's baby, and he's gonna be the greatest politician ever, and really.
So are you talking about his stand up or like his
both? I mean, I've only listened to some of his stand up. Like I listened to him a lot on podcasts. I've been listening to stand up bits and just his energy, man, is hilarious.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the funniest people around right now.
Okay.
But I think he might be a comedian's comedian. I'm not sure. Like I say, because it's very dark. Like he was going around as the coronavirus and
that's just silly.
What do you think separates a comedian from comedian's comedian? Like what makes him more inaccessible to the public?
There's some people that are just like, well, basically, like, I mean, to break it down geographically, like if there's a comedian on stage and the audience isn't laughing and the back of the room's dying. like there's Andy Kindler who's like, because he's kind of meta and he's always like talking about like rule of threes and like he's always kind of breaking down but I don't know. I just think that Tim Dillon is a little bit maybe over the top for like the basic,
So you think that his is
they're not ready for him.
Intense. Where when I think of comedian, I think of like making a joke about a joke, making a joke about comedy.
Yeah, that's like Andy Kindler would do. Yeah, but I don't know. I think there's I don't know. No.
Like I got this.
I have a hard time watching stand-up comedy now. I've been doing, it sucks.
Just because you.
Yeah, I came in it as a fan, and now I kind of just like, ugh. And you break it, and even when you watch it, you break it down. You can't even watch it you're like, oh, I see what he's doing there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Anthony Jeselnik's latest special.
No, I can watch his. It's pretty good. I mean, because it's so quick.
Well, but like for me, I could kind of see where he was going in a lot of his jokes, and a couple of times I guessed the punchline.
Well, he said that his job is to see that you don't do that. But he says that sometimes it's okay if you get one or two because then it makes you really. Was when you don't get them. I don't know. He had some kind of theory about that it's okay if you see where a couple are going because it certainly is a style where you go okay, and you kind of have a similar joke writing style. Now you don't have a similar presentation style, but you kind of have that where the joke goes dark.
Well, that's just because that's kind of like a crutch that I lean on. I don't know how to write a joke otherwise.
Well, that's okay. I see that. I like how you are critical of yourself. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I think I'm a little too critical of myself, though.
Well, that's okay though. That's better than being overly confident.
That is true because if you're overly confident, I think there's no room for improvement.
Yeah, well, I think there's a thing that was it Ezra, the guy from NPR or something.
Yeah.
There's a whole quote about because you have it's about your taste level, and your taste level is right now is still above your ability to do comedy. Yeah. And it's a good thing. So you're building towards that. So like, yeah, and you're not supposed to be where you want to be in 2 years. That's not how it works. Right. So no, you're doing a good job, man. And the fact that you're critical of yourself is important because we should be. It's tough because there's a lot of you have to be delusional for a while to keep doing it when you suck. I mean, you have to be like you can't just getting up and no one likes what you're saying. Keep doing it.
I've heard that a lot, but I feel like for me, I wasn't delusional. I just felt like this sucks, but if only I can make the next one better than the last one, then I'll eventually get somewhere.
Yeah.
You also, whenever you started, you were telling me you're like, I guess I've made myself comfortable with the fact that I'm gonna suck for the first 2 years.
Yeah,
that was your approach from what you were saying to me. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, well, now you just dipped your toe in it. Now you're not really.
Yeah, I've just gone. I did like 8 times the first time I did it, and then I did it like 15 times the second time, and now I'm just starting again. I'm on the second time.
Okay, so you're still at it. You're still at it a little bit.
I just started again. Like the Monday before this last one was my first time back.
Okay. Well, did you go up on Monday? I guess I left.
Yeah, I did. I went up there late. I missed you at the beginning. I didn't.
You didn't miss much. I was sitting there going, what else? What else do I want to remember that I used to talk about? What I want to talk about now? Yeah. It was interesting, though. Like, everybody wasn't wearing masks. I was like, Georgia's over the coronavirus. We're done. No one's wearing masks. Yeah. We're just like, if your grandma dies, man.
Well, you know what? My grandma's a grown-ass woman. She can take care of herself.
Yeah.
She can stay inside,
Yeah. My grandma's dead, so she's
mine too.
Both of them.
I just have one grandparent left.
Mine are all gone.
Mine too. So fuck them.
So what do you think? Should we get rid of all the police and just have a Wild West again? Just get rid of all.
I don't know how we're gonna do that.
Let's get rid of all the police and the criminals, and then we're good, right?
Yeah,
the criminals. I was thinking about it. It's like what do the police really do? And for the most part, like when do we really need them?
when shit goes down. Well, here's the.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, man, is what we have to realize, man, and it's certainly a race thing. It's certainly a race thing, but it's also like I think it's like the Lord of the Rings. Like no one can hold that power. Like
Yeah.
no one's worthy. It's just human nature, whether it's the president or police. Like it's just like no one's really that pure of heart to that just that power to have. I mean, like it's like shit. Even little things like when you have a good set, you feel more powerful. Like when I've won poker games that felt powerful. You know what I mean? Like there's times when you just feel like superior, whatever. And as a policeman, it's just if you can't help but it's us against them. Like this is the criminals. We're better. We're the good guys.
Yeah.
And it's just human nature to be like. There's been experiments done like where the
Stanford prison experiment.
Yeah, that guy wrote my psychology book in college. Like, I had to end it in 4 hours because like the prisoners and the.
I was like that story. Always made me feel weird. It was always kind of disturbing to me.
That's experiment.
Yeah, the story of the experiment, how they would.
That came over in Guantanamo and all.
Yeah, like they made people like what did they say? They made people do sexual stuff or something. The prison guards, the students.
Stanford one.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Well, they said that, but I don't know like how real that is, or if they're exaggerating or whatever. They said that the people that were assigned to be prison guards made the prisoners do sexual favors, and that part really disturbed me.
Yeah,
like 4 hours. It's like
4 hours. I thought it was like multiple days.
There was some sketch. It was Kids of the Hawks where they had like the plane crash and the guy wants to start eating people immediately. Like, Jesus.
I think the way I see it, like
not even dark yet. God, 4 hours.
I see it like I see it like a Venn diagram where there's police brutality on one side, and then there's racist cops on the other, and then they intersect in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I was just watching a thing, it's just like, if you want to make the case like that cops aren't right, and obviously cops are different. Every cop's different. They're unique people.
Yeah.
But obviously, just like you're talking about pedophilia, tends to people that are pedophiles tend to be attracted to things where they can be around kids,
Yeah.
And, just check your youth pastor is all I'm saying. And the same with the police. I mean, if you want to be racist, it's a great opportunity, to really get some of if you're a police officer, but, but I just watched last night, I was watching Cadillac Records, which is awesome because I love the blues and it's about Muddy Waters. But, this was back in the 60s and police were openly harassing black people for being black and just, so, boy and all this stuff, and so, when did that end? It was like, because it definitely used to for sure happen.
Well, from what I hear,
for sure happened.
Ever since we're talking about shit more, I'm hearing more people tell their individual stories. Where I never heard as much of that in the past. I would just hear like cops are racist, but I didn't. Nobody was telling their own stories of being profiled and stuff. And now that this is happening, I'm hearing people come out with their actual stories, and that's shedding more light on it for me.
Well, one thing too is that so you're talking about in the 60s that was happening, like for sure, out in public. And to me, like I imagine so much more of the police force was racist at the time. And sure, some of them have gone, but some of them like were the people that hired the next cops. And
it wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah, not very long ago, really. It's like what, 60 years ago now? 1960.
Yeah.
So like some of them may have hired other racist cops that they're like, yeah, these are good boys.
Right.
And those racist cops hired some other racist cops. But then I feel like it's getting filtered over time to where you have this side, but then you have more good people probably coming in. That'd be my guess. But I don't know.
I think a lot of the good ones may be quitting. I don't. It's hard to say because it'll be the real sociopaths that stick around.
That is trend. That. Yeah.
So like, where am I gonna go?
The problem's just gonna get worse. And I think I think after so many people are talking about like Black Lives Matter and stuff, I think probably people who were on the fence about whether or not they were going to be racist might just go full in and just become like huge white supremacists, you know?
I don't know, like it's so crazy, man. Like
Yeah.
it's because it's so frustrating because I was just watching Colors. We just watched Colors the other day, which was 1987 about the LA riots, and it's the same stuff. And this was 30 years ago. Well, it's longer than that. It's over 30 years ago, and it's the same story of just police brutality against black people, and it's like it's just been going on for a long time. It's all like just not pretend like it hasn't. It has, and it's like cops, but I've been pulled over. I've never had a gun pulled on me or anything. It's not like a fun thing for a white person to get pulled over by the cops. We're not like sharing a beer or anything.
Yeah.
But it ain't the same, man. It's just it's I don't know. It's interesting. I love that movie Get Out. I may be paraphrasing it, but I think it was overlooked. But one of the best lines to me is the guy. Yeah, he asked the black guy, the main character. He asked Stephen Root at some point. He's like, "Have you seen the movie?"
Yeah.
Because when they're doing all the they're taking the brand. He's like, "Why black people?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, I don't know. And I think that's just like that's a deep thought, man. It's like, why black people? I don't know. It's just it's rough, but I know that if they don't get convicted, it's really going to hit the fan of Jesus Christ,
But
man.
supposedly it's really hard to convict cops of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's something that needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, I mean and it's like I understand people. I mean, like if you're for cops are supposed to be protecting us. I mean, we want to kind of err on the side of like, hey, we should keep I don't know. We certainly should not get rid of cops. I don't think that's the answer at all.
Yeah.
That seems like mayhem. And if we did, we'd have to do it very slowly, like a very slow.
Maybe just like
You
replace.
got to test it. Like pot legalized in one state. We'll say that goes. You know what I mean? Like you can't just. All the cops are gone. Like pandemonium.
Basically, like there would be nothing to
You can't.
make us
follow
follow any rules.
Yeah, you
We
have
just
to
break
have
every law
enforcement
there
of law.
was.
Yeah.
People are talking about
Well,
we still have judges. I'm like,
They're
I don't
talking.
give a
Well, they're
fuck
also
the
talking
judge.
about like a community approach to policing. And whenever I hear that, I think like, so who's going to shoot the person that breaks into my house?
Yeah.
Who's that? up
You
to?
are.
Well, yeah, if I have a gun,
You gotta get one.
who's going to shoot the person on the street trying to kill me? I don't know.
You are.
What if it's
Yeah,
five?
like the Wild West, It'd be
Yeah.
gunfights, man.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah, no, it's definitely, we can't get crazy, but I mean, obviously things haven't changed, so I mean, there's got to be some kind of accountability. I mean, it's just got to hold people accountable. They wear body cams, and if
It's crazy. They don't
cop,
do shit.
if the cop puts his knee on a guy for 9 minutes and kills him, he goes to jail. It's real simple. Like we don't have to define. It's really we can keep everything's being filmed now. You can't get away with it. You can't get away with much now. You're being filmed all the time.
Yeah.
And you're probably and also you got your camera on you and it's probably filming you too, like recording you.
What do you think about all those videos of like seemingly peaceful protesters getting tear gassed and getting rubber bullets shot at them and stuff like that? Have you seen any of those?
It's awful. I mean, first of all, here's the thing. Okay, I'll say this too. Like I predicted Trump was going to get elected the first time around. I don't have any skin in the game.
I had no idea.
I was sure it was because people are stupid. They're Smartarded. And The Apprentice was one of the top reality shows. Well, I used to look at the top like rated shows, and it would be like Monday Night Football, American Idol, The Apprentice. Like it was just below football ratings. Yeah. So he was The Apprentice was one of the top. It was one of the biggest TV shows ever.
Yeah.
Where he played the boss that fired everybody. And that's how, so it was no doubt. Because people, celebrities, man, because Arnold Schwarzenegger became, the governor of California.
Yeah, that's true.
He could, governor and that happened. And we're like, what? So I knew he was going to get to be president. And I was pretty sure he was going to get reelected until this protest started. But he's done such a terrible job.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be able to, unity and bring the country together in times of strife.
Yeah.
And he's just not doing that. And I started thinking, like, so what's more important, like what the president does or how he makes the country feel? You know what I mean? Like, which is more important, his actions or the fact that he's just not, you know, we need a good order like this. Somebody that makes us feel comfortable. They don't have to be, there's something, what happened there ended. Okay, so we did an hour.
Was that an hour?
Really? Sure.
So,
Go in.
What is this?
That's the video. I
Okay,
think
what do I do? Go back.
you gotta share it somehow. Oh,
Did I fuck it up? Make it not sure?
they're like, we're not talking about Trump.
maybe. We got it on YouTube.
All right, check our YouTube channel back for. Maybe this will tell people that we're going on.
Was it just a connection thing? Because now it's checking the connection.
Oh, that's what it's connecting to. That thing.
Oh, we're now live. All right, we're
you-
back.
Shit.
Where were we?
Oh, we were just talking about, I don't think Trump's actually going to go.
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
I've heard.
I think he's just, you know, like if Morgan Freeman, it says things that just sounds good and you believe him, you know, and maybe there's somebody like that. Morgan Freeman for president.
Yeah, I've heard one of the problems in a way with maybe not a problem, but somebody was talking about how like in England they have like the Queen, and she's not really much like she's not in charge of the government really anymore, but
Right.
she's still like this figure of like a cultural like belief system in a way. Like she exudes just kind of like this is what we're about. These are where our values are, cultural values and stuff like that. She kind of like embodies that. And then we don't like. I guess she's the symbolic leader in a way.
Yeah, because like, what was it, the Magna Carta or whatever? This is one of the few history things I know. Was signed. That was King the Lionhearted. No, it was his brother because it was. But anyway, they signed the Magna Carta. Took power away from. Was it the Magna Carta? It was in 12 something. It took power away from 14. I don't remember. But Richard the Lionhearted's brother. Because you see the lion in winter because his brother was kind of dumb. John. So King John, who was the king in Robin Hood, who's like, I believe. So that's the guy that's basically him, I believe, that took the power, that signed the Magna Carta, took the power away from the royalty. So now it's the House of Parliament, the House of Commons that is the government, and their figureheads, so they have pretty much, but I guess they have influence, which is like influence the culture or whatever. I don't know.
Talking about their royal family.
Yeah.
How the
Yeah,
fuck did you get on that so fast?
Talking about how the Queen represents like
You're talking about like a
cultural
figurehead,
symbol, like symbology, and then like the president. The problem is he's like the head of the government and he's a cultural symbol, and so there's like a different like weight there.
Yeah.
That like we don't have just like an avenue of just like a cultural symbol. Like this is somebody of values, but they're not gonna like totally fuck with our government, I guess. Something like I'm not explaining it.
Or maybe it's what it should be is like what I think Joe Rogan talked about. Instead of having one person be president, have like a presidential, 4 or 5 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. It just
Like a
seems,
parliament.
Parliament's hilarious when they yell at each other.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
I've seen those videos.
Those are hilarious, man. The House of Commons and unfiltered. I don't know. It's a weird time. It's bizarre. 2020 obviously is a weird year.
Mhm.
But I think we're going to have a new president. I don't think
You
Trump's
think
gonna
so? Think it's going to be Biden?
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, I'm not crazy about that idea, but
Yeah, I thought Trump was going to win forever, and then all this stuff started.
the
happening.
protests,
It's
and I'm not pro-Trump. Although, the thing is like, so I got this like, it's a long story, but a Facebook kind of war with a female comedian, and who basically told me to fuck off and all this stuff, and because, but anyway, she was. What happened? I'll tell you the whole story. Why not? So, it was passive aggressive. Have you ever had anybody? Okay, so like, I post a status on. I'll try to make it as simple as possible. Just because, by the way, first of all, just preface this with yes, it's petty, and comedians are petty, and we're definitely petty with each other. So I post some status about something, and then somebody disagreed with what I said or whatever, and they had a disagreeing statement, and then she likes the disagreeing statement without liking my status and never having liked any status. So it lets me know she's watching and never liking anything. and then just liking disagreeing comments. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I went over to her page, and she was like, it was the day before the election, and she was like, well, even after Hillary wins tomorrow, the men at work are still going to be terrible. These men are still going to be, and just like all these examples of how men are still going to suck even after Hillary wins. And so I just commented, well, maybe Trump will win. You won't have that problem or whatever. And then she's all like, fuck off, Jay. And like all this stuff. And I'm going on and they're talking shit. And I'm like going back. I'm like, and so it gets all these likes. Like this fuck off Jay gets like I know like 80 something likes, dude.
It's so funny.
Okay.
80 people like saying
Yeah.
fuck off, Jay.
And so, yeah. And they're all like, fuck off, Jay, and all this stuff. And so the next day when Trump won, I was like, I'm not a fan. And I'm not a fan of Trump. I'm not but I just know that those 80 motherfuckers hate him worse. And I was like, live in this world, motherfucker. I'm down. I'm with it. I'm here. You live with, so then like she posts something about all upset about Trump winning, and I did a laugh emoji. That's when she unfriended me. So, it's been 4 years of gloating for me. So I'm fine now. No one's pissed me off in the last, so. But I think Biden, is going to probably win.
Man, isn't he like 80 or something? He's almost 80, I think.
Yeah, he's got dementia, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I got ran off who I was watching. They've gone now. They're like, okay, that's enough. This guy supports.
You guys gonna vote for Biden, right? Because if
Who, me?
you don't, then you're not black.
Oh yeah, I have to.
I mean, yeah, I think Trump. Well, I just think Trump's not good. It's just not good for the country, man. It's just not good for the. I mean,
what, his attitude?
Just the hatred. He's so hated by so many people, and I just think they're not going to be able to handle it for 4 more years.
Yeah.
Even though I think he's probably done. I don't know what good he's done because you don't hear about it, But
Yeah.
I know that it seems like. I mean, I know that we haven't really been in war, and the gas prices are pretty good. So
I think the economy was doing good.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. But I don't think he's going to get to do it again. I just think he just doesn't have the right attitude, man. I mean, it's so weird him tweeting stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Talk about petty.
Yeah.
He is the king of petty.
I think his biggest misstep that he made, the thing that made me think like, okay, there's no way he's fucking winning now, as the gassing the protesters, the peaceful protesters in front of the church.
Including apparently the preacher.
Yeah, I heard about that. And then I heard they were playing it on
God.
TV at the same time, like his speech plus the other side of the screen showing the protesters being fucking gassed.
Crazy.
And kicked out of there. Also, he could go over and hold up the Bible, and it looks fake. Not the Bible.
I know. It started burning his hand. Yeah, it's so weird that you have to be, because he's obviously not religious. He doesn't care about religion. You just have to pretend that you are.
Yeah.
He's got a game, and it's fascinating because who was it? There was somebody on Joe Rogan and it may have been Adam Curry or something. I don't remember who it was. We're talking about that his kind of style of being a president is taken kind of from the WWE format. Where he's talking about how WWE is like, even they came out and like, yeah, wrestling's fake and it didn't matter. It's like and then Trump's like, yeah, it's like we're like I grabbed her by the pussy, I said, whatever, it's still okay. Anyway, but he says all this. I can't remember who it was. We're talking about how he taken it was like it may have been Tony Hinchcliffe. He's a big wrestling fan. But at any rate, like the next day or something, Trump announced he was appointing Vince McMahon to some kind of COVID night. I don't remember what it was, but some kind of a thing. I was like, this is insane. Yes. Like the day after, and Trump was in wrestling. He did wrestling.
Yeah, I saw some of him doing that.
So I think there's hilarious. It's just he's got this kind of plan that he's kept with, but it's just like he's not making any friends, man. Yeah, it's just.
But I think that's the thing too. I don't think he gives a shit about friends. I think there's something. I think he's like such a
He gives a
disagreeable
shit about being
person.
liked.
Yeah. But I'm not like, I don't think he gives a shit about
He doesn't
like,
care about liking other
having,
people.
like,
he wants to
real
be liked. He doesn't care about like. He could not like anybody.
Yeah.
He just wants to be liked himself. And
Yeah.
it's a tough thing. If you're going to be president, you're going to have people that hate you regardless. So, you know.
I felt like it seemed like everybody hated George Bush so much.
Yeah, that's what I
I
thought until this.
I hated George W. Bush. I did. I couldn't stand him. I hated him so much for 8 years. And that's why I can't do it anymore. I can't do it with Trump. I can't. I did it with Bush. It didn't change anything in my life except I was just upset for 8 years, and it doesn't. I can't affect change by being upset at Trump or Bush.
Yeah.
There's nothing. If your anger is just making you sit at home and going, it's not. If your anger makes you go out and run for president and beat, that's different. Make your anger do something. But I can't. I just don't have the energy to be angry at the president and stuff. It's just like I don't even really watch the news. You don't have to watch the news because you hear about it on Facebook. Anything you need to know, you'll come from your Facebook feed.
I dropped out of paying attention to like politics and shit after like the election. One, I mean, not just because he was elected, but because what happened with the Democratic Party and all that shit. I was like, man, what the fuck am I doing? Wasting my time, stressing out over this shit that I can't do anything about. And so then I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, the Democrats become so unreasonable too. It's just like everything's like you're getting doxxed, for stupidest shit.
And like doxing is something that do we not look at that as like bad?
What's the guy that played Stuart Smalley in the Al Franken? He had to resign from Congress because there's an old picture that was totally harmless of him jokingly when he's doing that to a girl like at her breast or whatever, and like, it was a whole thing that was like a very public photo that was part of Saturday Night Live, and it was on the show, and it was like stupid stuff, man. It's just like, and then they, it's like that guy, was that Shane Moss, and they went back and found this where he said some, in a joke form, I'm not even going to say the Chinese, and just, after he gets hired, he doesn't get the gig, and, it's just stupid, man. And you can go back. I guarantee there's stuff they can find about me, so, like, whatever. Like, I said it. And sometimes I go back and see old memories and jokes, and I'm like, yeah, I can see why people might think that was a little awkward. Of course, my head on that one, I like how people come and they peek in for a second. Yeah. Stay!
Now you don't have to stay. You can leave and stay as much as you want.
What is that a person?
I think it's a podcast, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, a fellow podcast.
Booze reviews. Yeah, yeah. I guess drunk reviews or something.
Oh, good. Well, somebody does it gets drunk and reviews podcasts? That awesome.
Sounds cool. Yeah.
That's a good idea. We're sober at this one. So.
Yeah, we're gonna do podcasts like on every drug though at some point.
Oh, really? Oh, we're gonna. Oh! I thought you meant the topic was a drug. Yeah, we're
gonna do it. Get high on different drugs and do different podcasts.
I was thinking we should I was thought about this today. I'm probably trying to write some material about it, but like we should be more supportive of people on drugs and like just find ways to make it work for them. Like there should be like for meth, meth heads. There should be like a job where you get to work for like 72 hours straight and like sleep for 4 days. just 3 days of straight, just build a tiny house.
Yeah.
Like you got 72 hours, build this tiny house, you get 4 days off. Just take some meth, get a hammer. Dude, there used to be a guy, he used to work at a restaurant and the chef was a crackhead. And that dude could make food so damn quick. It was amazing. But he did grow up there. What was they left again?
Same thing again. Live video ended.
Why
meth?
I don't know. Shared IGTV.
Oh, I didn't do that. Oops, the last one.
Huh?
I didn't share the last one. We're still live on YouTube.
How long have we been going on YouTube?
For 54 minutes.
Okay, so we're just having problems on the IG one.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
It must only let you do it for 20 minutes.
Well, usually it lets us do it for an hour. That's my foot.
I'm not going to title it. I'm just going to put
the
required title.
What?
Shit.
Why is it requiring a title?
I don't know. It's doing it differently than normal.
I wonder if his flip phones are different or whatever. The working 72 hours straight, that's almost like being a doctor, from what I hear.
Well, that's true. They probably should not be on meth.
Yeah.
They probably are on some form of speed, though.
Adderall is basically like meth.
Yeah.
Meth, isn't it?
Yeah, Adderall is math.
It's meth.
Because it's got ad in it. It's Adderall.
Add them all.
That was the funniest thing I've said on the whole podcast. It didn't get recorded.
We can redo it.
Never be the same.
What are you trying to do?
See if we can go again.
Here,
Oh yeah.
there you go. And then just hit live.
Boom. It's my turn to pee now.
All right.
Catch everybody peeing.
And we're live again.
And if anybody had missed it, Josh was like, Adderall is like math. And I was like, no, that's subtractorol. Okay.
Without hearing meth, it's like the context doesn't make sense. I meant to say Adderall is like meth.
Sorry, I'm having to pet a kitty real quick.
But I accidentally said like math.
Yeah. Easy mistake to make. The kitty.
That's a word.
Yeah, that's how you get. This is how you get views.
There you go. That
You see
happened.
the cat let me hold him. You don't know me.
All right. We got Uncle Goo in the house.
Okay. What's the cat's name?
It doesn't really have a name.
Are you serious?
We tried to name it Cricket, and then we just call it Orange Cat. So check this out. I got a fortune today, but looks like our fortune has run out because it's empty. Isn't that fucking crazy?
What's going on?
But see, the thing is like, I used to have a joke that people think that the fortune's the best part of the cookie. But like, no, it's the cookie, dumbass.
The fortune's the best part of the
You
cookie.
can't eat paper.
There, you want this one?
Yeah, man. It looks burnt, too, though.
That's probably good. You know, it's just extra cooked.
Do they have to be? It is so sad. It looks,
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe the
What does
fortune.
it look like? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The cardboard. Maybe
It's a little
the
burnt.
in a good way or bad way.
In the way that burnt is usually bad, I think.
I heard eating burnt stuff gives you a good singing voice, though.
What? Really?
I heard
What?
that on an episode of Andy Griffith's show.
Oh.
That's not very good.
No.
I'm sorry.
I love the Andy Griffith show.
What did you hear on Andy Griffith show again? What?
Eating burnt food gives you a good singing voice. And it was supposed to be ridiculous.
Okay.
Okay.
It encourages people to eat the burnt food, I guess.
I don't fucking know.
Was it like something Barney was saying?
The kid, Ronnie Howard said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Little Ronnie.
Are those special desserts? What the fuck do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're special. I don't know.
Probably meant that you just like made it special you did something special to it before you gave it to me. But it was sealed.
Yeah.
So.
No drugs.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
No.
Something.
What did you think?
Yeah.
Why is that special?
Ha ha!
That's what all my
Everybody-
desserts are like.
Because everybody's unique. That's why. And everybody's load is unique.
Everybody's load is unique.
Some are, I don't want to get into that. So we almost have some viewers.
Mhm.
So let's keep it clean, folks. We've already covered COVID-19 and the protests and Trump. We've already covered all that stuff. I think we forgot to save it, but now we're just gonna
You can go to YouTube and see it though.
Full
It'll
things on
always be
YouTube.
there on YouTube.
television for the Smartarded on YouTube.
It's Half Asleep Films actually on YouTube.
Yeah.
Link is in the bio. We started this YouTube
Oh, the link
channel
is in the
like
bio?
forever. Yeah, we got a link in
Sweet.
bio. Link in bio. I didn't know what the fuck that meant forever. I was like, link in bio. What is that? like a
Like Lincoln Park.
yeah.
It's weird when you realize you've been like saying words to lyrics like I was doing karaoke, and it's like, oh, that's what they're saying, like for
Oh,
years,
yeah.
years, forever.
Yeah.
And you said the wrong lyrics, and you made sense of why that's what the lyrics were.
Yeah.
I don't have any examples right now. I can't think, but
You think the coronavirus was ever real?
yeah, I think it's totally real. but I don't think it's as bad, as
Yeah.
they said it was going to be. I mean, it worked out good for me because I had my gallbladder out, like literally when it started. Like the day I came home from the hospital was my roommate told me that she was going to be working from home, and so she was able to help out that first week when I felt like ass. So she was there, and I spent the first month of the quarantine just recovering. So it worked out pretty good. So what was the question?
Do you think the coronavirus is real?
Oh yeah, I think so. But I think I don't think all the stats are accurate. I think because it's like people that had not died from COVID, just died with COVID or whatever that was.
Yeah.
But it's fine, and I still wear my mask in stores just to be. I'm not scared of catching corona. I'm just trying to be respectful and courteous to other people.
Yeah.
That's the same reason I do it too.
Yeah, my mask, I'm pretty sure, isn't worth a shit because I went through Walmart one day and I said this on the mic, but I smelled a fart. I walked right through a fart. I'm like, I can smell a fart, so I know this is not working good. And then I went to Walmart another time, and somebody had some body stank. I mean, stank. And it was like where it lingered. Like they're not even around.
Oh,
and you go over to get something, and you just walk into where there's stank, and they're not even around. And it's like, dude, it's just like, just because people are wearing masks, please still bathe. Please, God, please still bathe.
It'd be funny. There's some guy
These
out
masks
there
ain't worth a
trying to get away
shit.
with that. I've heard actually the masks don't really help much at all. That they've tested it, and then it's actually been tested the past before. And the whole idea of the mask apparently is kind of bullshit. Other than if you're sick or if you're taking care of people that are actually sick. Apparently, it just the material plus like the inability to fully seal it doesn't really protect you.
Yeah. Well, also too, I think you just have to. George Carlin talked about urine disease for like they used to swim in raw sewage, and then when polio came through, didn't have a chance because they swim in raw sewage. I think you just have to get out there. And so, like, I used to be a real sickly kid because my mom bathed me too much, and now they tell you that, but like she used to bathe me all the time as a baby. Yeah.
How much?
Well, anytime babies, you shouldn't bathe too often. It's not good.
It's like a dog, like once a week or something.
Probably not quite that bad, but you probably should. Probably no more than once a day, and probably every other day is much better to wash a baby because you got to let them. It's just you get sick. I was real sick. I used to have like tonsillitis and bronchitis and shit like that all the time. Like so, I think there's an importance to just getting around germs and like also too like I don't have allergies. I think because I've been around. You have cat allergy.
No, he does.
Or you do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. I thought it was you. I was like, how can you even be living here? Okay. I misheard that. So, but it's like I've been around these animals and I've had all this pet dander, and I think because I've been around it so much, I'm immune to it. So I think there's something to that. I think you sometimes got to get around it, and it seems like the flu's worse than the coronavirus. So anyway.
If you had said that like a month ago, then it would be really controversial of a statement.
Yeah.
The flu's worse than the coronavirus. But now I don't think it so much is.
Yeah, I think that's probably seems like it. Seems like the coronavirus. All I know is, man, all these protests, no one gives a shit anymore about it anyway. I
think that's kind of a big thing that changed people's perception on the coronavirus.
Yeah, well, I think too, and I think part of why this has been such a big protest is people have been sitting around not doing stuff, and then something set people off, and they've been sitting here trying to be, chill. And then something so egregious that keeps happening, and now it's like worse. And it's like these cops don't care that on camera anymore. They're just pushing 75-year-old men over and making it out like
that's one really surprising thing. The stuff that's been caught on camera during the protests.
Well, one thing I think though about that is that I don't think it's I don't think that right now with like the protests, what cops do. I don't think that's how you measure what cops do on a day-to-day basis, because this is like a high-pressure situation,
right? But you still have to factor all that in because, like, what?
Yeah.
This is, because that's what you got to worry about. It's not about what cops do on an easy day. It's about what they do on a hard day.
Well, what I mean is that, like, no matter what, like, there's no reason for cops to ever really train for a riot. I think there is, though, but I think nobody would think there was a reason to waste time on training for a riot because how often do they happen? You know what I mean? But now suddenly, everywhere across the country,
every few years,
shit tons of riots. happening.
Matt
But
Wheeler said people are seeing
through the narrative. There's a lot of conspiracy theories that seem plausible about everything that's going on.
yeah.
Well, I heard there was a legitimate news report that they discovered it was started in a lab, right? Or
Coronavirus?
Oh,
Yeah,
coronavirus?
yeah.
That's come out
I've
now.
heard that, but like legitimate sources saying that coronavirus was started in a lab, and then that at the same time after those came out, people being like, "Yeah, you're a nut job for saying that," you know. So
Well, always there's going to be that, and who knows? You may be like, because it's the thing is, it's like it was important when this started. Whether you conspiracy is to err on the side of caution and stay home and wear the mask, just to be sure. But now it's been 3 months, and I mean, in like California, like there's like 2,000 deaths in all of California. It's like, I mean, yeah, obviously, but deaths are bad, but people die. I mean, and the one thing, so we're talking about Joe Rogan, one of the best things he pointed out, I don't know if it was his point or somebody else's, is that the average age people are dying from coronavirus is older than the average age people die in general.
Yeah.
I don't know what like if people normally die at 75, they're dying at 80 with corona,
Yeah.
so. And I mean, I have a lot of people I love that are in their 80s. I don't want them to get sick and die. And also, too, putting people on ventilators probably killed a lot of them, too, because it makes your body stop fighting. It's just like when AIDS came out, a lot of people died because of the treatment. AIDS is still around, but not many people died. Of course, they got better treatment, but, AIDS was looking like it was going to kill everybody. Like, AIDS was terrifying. I was there. I remember it very well. When AIDS came out, people were terrified. They were terrified to go to public bathrooms. They were terrified it was set. The LGBT, that was even called that way back. People started being terrified of gay people, thinking that gay people were going to give them a disease, was going to kill, that kind of stuff. So like, and AIDS was killing everybody. Everybody got AIDS died. It was death. It was death. And a lot of that a lot of that was the treatment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of it in the beginning was the treatments. They were giving these real severe treatments, and they were killing them. Same with cancer too. Like cancer today. A lot of people that die of cancer die from the treatments, not from the cancer.
The radiation and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. So, it's just so.
Everybody about the coronavirus. Everybody kept on saying like we're living through unprecedented times, and but I don't know how the AIDS epidemic compared. Was that?
Well, we didn't have to quarantine. Nobody quarantined. Yeah. You just got scared of gay people and then used public bathrooms. I mean,
Yeah.
And you were scared to give blood and all that kind of stuff, it was that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just a fear of going to the doctor and getting AIDS or all that kind of stuff. And just like, and there was a lot of hate for gay people. There was a lot of this, the kind of bullshit of like that God was punishing gay people by giving them AIDS and, all that kind of stupid shit you hear every time. And it was just a different time too, man, because you didn't have the internet. And you just heard shit from the people around you and not, and then the nightly news, so
there wasn't any way to fact check stuff.
There definitely wasn't. God, man, I used to believe so much shit that wasn't true. I used to have this friend who, he was just like talking about, he was like that, Benny Hill was Ozzy Osbourne's father and all kind of horse shit. I told people, like, that Benny Hill was Ozzy Osbourne's father. They get the internet, and I hate it too because, like, it sucks. But sometimes even today, I'll tell somebody something, and they'll be like, "Are you sure?" And they'll Google it, like, "That's not true." I'm like, "Oh shit," and I'm like, it sucks because, like the internet, man. Because back in the day, man, we used to bet dollars. We have like, is this true? Like, I'll bet you $1, and then we kind of go back and forth. Because you couldn't Google stuff, man. It's a very different time, man. It's so different.
But now with the internet, we have like echo chambers and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
we sure do.
And that I think we're just growing. We're in a transitional period because I think a lot of stuff happening right now. I think it's like not good, and it's based on people just reaffirming each other's opinions on the internet. And not going and learning anything from people who don't agree with them, and only looking at sources that confirm their bias and stuff.
Because there's even people saying like unfriend me if you don't agree with what I'm saying. It's like, okay, so you just want to tell the people that agree with what you're saying. Like, what's
that's
the point?
it, and it's weird though too. But I guess I've kind of have it in a way, and you end up having an echo chamber whether you want to or not, because people unfollow you if they don't want to, and so like, because I'm very surprised people talking about how these white people are saying all this stuff about, all lives matter. And I'm not seeing that in my, in my.
I don't think I've seen one person say that.
Well, I got into one the other day with some, and one guy, he's like he used to be a homicide detective or whatever, and it's just like, I was saying that, they're talking about how this post I saw where this guy was like asking his black friends when was the first time you got a gun pointed at you by a cop, and all my black friends are like 16, 18, Sonny G is like 24, 32, 30, and I'm talking to them, about that, and they're like, where are you, and I posted it, and they're like, what were they doing? And it's like, I'm not going to try to convince you that my black friends aren't thugs. I don't know what they were doing, but I just think maybe it's a time to listen and look at the, go, hey, I've never had a gun pulled on me, and maybe my position on what the cops are like are just based on how they've treated me, and that's not necessarily the
I think
accurate.
All these like anecdotal stories, I think they're more important than just like statistics of like people dying, because people dying isn't the only thing that's happening. There's like people having guns drawn on them and stuff like that.
And that philanderer was a philanderer Castile was a guy he told the cop he had a gun because he had legally had a gun. The cop just pulls a gun and shoots him like on the live stream, and that's cousin of a person I know, like a comedian's cousin.
The guy that got killed?
One thing I do think, I don't think we can make cops stop being racist. I don't think we can be like, you can't be racist anymore. I think the only way to handle it is to make.
Well, they're going to be accountable. They just have to be accountable.
Just make them accountable for not being abusive in general.
I was thinking about like, what if, I don't know exactly the specifics, but I was thinking, what if there's something where if you kill somebody as a cop, then like, okay, your time as a cop is over. So, then they process you through, or they go through a long process either where you have to see a psychologist.
Well, they do that anyway, at least based on every movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's movies, like The Departed.
But psychological, they had to go to see the psychiatrist after they kill somebody.
That's a long one. Is that Wheeler?
It's an awakening. People are starting to see through all of this divisive, distracting nonsense. United we stand.
I hope so. I
some
don't feel like
people
they're seeing through the divisive.
I don't know. I've seen it go both ways. I've seen people like a lot of people coming together, and then I've seen a lot of things that seem even more dividing. I've seen a lot more seen things that are
Trump's
polarizing,
dividing. That's the thing. He's like, he keeps, it's weird. I don't know. It's just too bad.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining in. Let's talk about one more thing.
One more thing?
Yeah. Is that how you usually do podcasts? Well, let's do one more thing.
There's no rules. I'd just start a podcast. I'm from the Hacienda.
Yeah, dude.
I will tell you, I think I've decided to start just like, I'll tell you what you think. I think I'm going to start just carrying a stick horse around with me to open mics and not bring attention to it. I'll just go up.
People just think you're like autistic or something.
Yeah. I'll ride up a little bit, but I'll maybe take the mic out of the mic stand and put the stick horse in it, And then maybe I could when a joke hits, I could ride it around in a little circle. Or maybe when it doesn't hit, I still ride it around, but
I want to do one. My goal, maybe
I could sell shirts. Shirts available.
Oh yeah.
Ride that horsey. DM me.
Buy his shit.
There. Evil stick horses, folks. Come on, nobody's got merch like that.
What are we being distracted from? That's what Uncle Goose said. What do you mean?
Like what's the government doing? It's distracting us with what's really going on? They're distracting us with the riots and with the COVID. What are they trying to take attention from?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a conspiracy, but it does seem like pretty.
No, exactly. I mean, it's always. Obviously, the thing is, it's like with Jeffrey Epstein being suicided, people finally had to go, okay, so maybe there is some validity to some of this conspiracies, because if you think like if you could have enough willful ignorance to think Jeffrey Epstein died of suicide, come on, that's just
Didn't Vietnam, wasn't that started by rumor?
False flag? Yes.
Yeah.
No, a rumor. Well, it was the Gulf of Tonkin is what it is, or whatever. It's like this attack or whatever.
But it didn't actually happen.
What it is okay. So I'll talk about this for a second. I would love to. Might as well take gift of history in high school. So there's a book called The Prince. It's called by Machiavelli, written in the 1400s, and it's very hard to read. And we had to read it in gifted history, and we had to get like the cliff notes for it because it's a little book. But it's basically the blueprint for waging war. And a big part of it is a false flag attack. It's basically you attack yourself, blame it on your enemy, and then everybody, all the countries behind you. It's what Hitler did. He attacked his own parliament.
And he said it's
blamed
Poland,
it on Poland.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a false flag attack. And so what a lot of people think happened with 9/11, they think 9/11 was an inside job. We attacked ourselves so we could go attack other people. But it also, that is exactly what Bay of Pigs was. And that JFK. First of all, I did very poorly in history. It's weird that I even know any of this, but JFK was basically going to attack ships, American ships, make it look like Cuba attacked.
Oh, I heard.
And he got busted. Before it happened, they got busted for that. So false flag attacks are a very real thing, and it's just Vietnam was one of those where it was a false flag attack that got us into Vietnam. I don't know remember the details of the Gulf of Tonkin, but I know it's definitely Gulf of Tonkin. Look it up. But that's been Machiavelli. The Prince was written, I think, in the 1400s, so it's a very old idea. You attack, you attack it, you blame it on your enemy, and you attack, and because that's what gets because like when 9/11, how low were you guys when that? You were pretty young.
I was 11.
Yeah. So, but you still remember then pretty well that a lot of people hated Bush and all that kind of stuff. When 9/11 happened, everybody came together as one. Racism stopped. Black and white people came together for real, man.
Yeah.
Like for real. We were Americans. So we were like, let's go get them. We didn't really like George Bush. We were like, you know what? We're going to put that shit aside. This shit is serious. Because we thought the world was coming to an end. This was crazy. So that brought us together for quite a while. That worked. If that was in fact a false flag attack, I'm not saying it is, but it certainly seems like it could have been. I mean, so I was a 9. I believed it was for a long time, and I still think it probably is. So I don't believe all conspiracy theories. I think some of them are here to mislead. You got to be careful, but you got to.
So you think there's some conspiracy theories that are conspiracy theories?
Well, I mean, they're all. I mean, some are. There's obviously when it comes to shit like that, there's some talking because everything that happens, there's conspiracy theory for everything that ever happens.
So what were you saying? I got distracted. I think that was a joke on his last comment.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. I used to have a friend who used to do that. It was so funny, man. Like it pissed people off. I've done it a few times. You would have pissed somebody off if you're talking to somebody on the phone. They just keep talking and going on and on and on. When they get done, you're like, okay, I'm back. Well, sorry, I had to go grab something out of the fridge. What'd you say there? I'm like, what? You here? Okay, I'm back. He would do that to telemarketers. Have them go on and on. Like, okay, I'm back. What now?
Gives them practice.
Yeah.
Work on their speech.
Worst job.
I'm glad I never had to be a telemarketer. You had to be a telemarketer?
No. No, I've just had a weird. I mean, I worked at a video store for a long time.
Yeah.
That's the easiest, but it doesn't pay shit. It was like minimum wage, but the easiest job ever. That was like in college, and stuff.
Blockbuster or?
No, I worked at Fox Video and Blowout Video.
Blowout Video.
Blowout Video. It was originally called C&J Video. They changed it. Blowout Video was in Walmart. It was the video store in Walmart.
Okay.
So it was pretty sweet because we would trade videos for like free tacos from the Taco Bell in the back of Walmart. So yeah, I pretty much ran that show, that place. I mean, I was not the manager, but I did most of the stuff. It was
I used to
easy.
fucking love video stores.
Yeah, I
or
was
a
just thinking that.
Blockbuster or
I
any
missed
of
that.
them, just like looking at the fucking VHSs up there all lined up, all pretty.
Yeah, it was it was a special. It's interesting because it was such a big thing that's just totally gone. I actually kind of really want to do write some kind of sitcom or something, or some kind of story that's based on the video story, because it's just like, it's such an interesting time. It was just like they came about and they blew up, man. It was one of those things where they just became so popular and then they just died away, and no one cares about because it used to be about collecting and having the DVDs and the CDs, and nobody just just stream it. You have to have a copy. It's you just watch it on Netflix and move on with your life.
I guess
the smell. That's what I was about to say. The smell of the video store.
Oh yeah,
That used to be like my favorite smell ever.
Smell like what? Plastic and
I don't know.
popcorn?
I guess kind of like plastic.
The back room maybe kind of smelled a little bit.
I remember sometimes some of the cases would smell a little like cigarettes, like the plastic ones.
Yeah.
That just had the VHS. I liked the smell when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Something about smelling like a cigarette stained plastic VHS case.
If a VHS, the Fox video, the guy, he was pretty rough, but he was so if video came back and people complained it was messed up, we had to put a mark on it, a little mark. And then if it came back again, that's why I said it was messed up, we put a second mark. And we got 3 marks when we took it off the shelf.
Okay.
We got 3 marks before we took it off. I remember that. That's such an easy job. God, shrink wrapping stuff all day. That was good. That was good times. But I did that, and then worked at waited tables. And you were asking if I ever telemarketed. My roommate answers phones all day. It's not telemarketing, but she answers phones all day in her room. She's working from home, so she gets to do that and yell at customers.
Yeah.
And sometimes she does put them on mute, or sometimes she yells at them without putting them on mute. But
right now, your main thing is the magic stuff and the balloon animals and everything.
Yeah, I've been making balloon animals. I've been doing magic since I was 5. I've been doing I did my first birthday party when I was 12, but I do make balloon animals at birthday, but I do a lot of gigs for UGA and stuff like that. And yeah.
Are you looking forward to getting back?
I hope it comes back, man, really, because it's nice to have money, and but I'm probably gonna go. I'm not gonna say exactly where it is. I don't want to get any other balloon twisters blowing up my spot, but I know some spots I can go. I'm gonna go to a place that hopefully is kind of starting to kick up again, where I can work on the streets and make balloons for tips. And I do okay doing that. I've paid the rent before. I've literally been short on the rent and went and made balloons at the streets all day and made the rent money.
Nice.
So yeah, it's about time to go do that, I guess. But yeah, I haven't worked. I haven't had a gig. In fact, you got me booked to the comedy show at the end of the month, and that's gonna really maybe my first paid gig in a while. So I got my stimulus check, and
Cool.
my parents were nice enough to lend me a little money for my birthday, and so
Nice.
I have a new mattress, which is amazing. I have an adjustable bed now.
An adjustable bed?
It's so good.
Makes yourself sit up.
Oh, cool.
Like a hospital bed.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the best. They're not that expensive. Get
Yeah.
one. You have one?
No.
Because if you go to buy a bed now, they're really the thing. And it's got vibrate on it. I got the massage thing. You can vibrate. And the dog was freaking out at first. He was like, "What the fuck?" Because he get up there, and then now he's on his back. He's like, "Yeah, good living."
I didn't know dogs liked vibration.
I didn't either, but he wasn't about it at first, but dogs are so funny, man. Because my dog, I used to have a dog, they'll mimic your behavior, they'll put their head on the pillow, put their head on the pillow, and it's so funny, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, but ladies, if there's a lady in my life, I'll kick the dog out of the bed, just for the record. But
You heard it here, ladies.
he'll sleep under the bed. He's fine with that.
All right. Ready to wrap it up?
Ride that horse.
You have anything you want to
Wrap it
plug?
up for the ladies.
Did I want to plug?
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy a shirt. You should come to Jimmy Mac's on June 29th. I'll be featuring at Jimmy Mac's Marietta on the 29th. That's all I have going on in my life. And also, if You know, if you want to send me a picture of your boobs or whatever, you can DM me. The information's been given out, I think. Just follow me at JWard y'all on Instagram, JAYWARD y'all. And that's it.
All right, Smartarded out.
How long did we do?
We did an hour and 24 minutes.